2015, 2016, Bernie Sanders was but he was different from 2020 Bernie Sanders. 2020 Bernie Sanders, I feel that he felt he had no choice but to infuse his campaign with the identity politics in order to, keep the identity obsessed off his back when, he wants to focus on the bread and butter economic issues that honestly appeals to a much broader base of voters. But nonetheless, let's take a look at how that part of the conversation went down.
We have a question we want to ask about what happened to you in 2016 with this Bernie Bros movement, where your followers are seeing they have a racism problem, a misogyny problem. Do you think that's a super PAC thing behind that?
That was the Democratic establishment.
During this election, the podcast space, which the Democrats largely avoided, they feel had some influence in the election, and they started to label us the podcast bros, and said that we were sexist and we were racist and bigoted. It's almost like it's the exact same strategy to get you out of there.
Yeah, that's what the liberal elite China does. And then you get to what we call identity politics.
Yeah.
That you're black, you're wonderful, you're tremendous, you're gay, you're the greatest human being on earth.
Yeah.
And rather than say, what do you stand for?
Exactly.
You're gay, that's fine, who cares?
Yeah.
But what do you stand for?
I love that Senator Sanders focused on, the content of someone's character, what someone stands for politically speaking, what their objectives are, when they're pursuing a position of power.
See, that's interesting though, because when we look at what does this guy stand for, that Bernie's on his podcast.
Well, he's the one saying, say whatever the fuck you want. So now conservatives have become Democrats. So I don't think I've changed. I just like the dudes that get pussy and say whatever they want. So it's you want me to be a Democrat again? Get some pussy, tell me to say whatever I want.
Okay. So it's your character. It's what you're about that's important, right? But not for Andrew Schulz, right? You're supposed to get along with these guys? I mean, that's confusing, isn't it? It's about your character, but not for the podcast bros, right?
Because that does matter the most. It absolutely matters the most.
Okay.
Side switched so much. When I was younger, like Democrats were cool. They were getting their dick sucked in the office. They were like, right? They were like supportive of like hip hop music. They said,
see right there, what he said. Look at what he says. Democrats were cool. They were getting their dick sucked in office by a fucking intern that was being taken advantage of, that like felt like she couldn't say no, right? So yeah, of course this guy voted for Trump because, hello, misogyny much, right? Like what in the actual bro, right? You know what I mean? Like he's pining back to the days of when the Democrats used to sexually abuse their interns and extract blow from them because the woman couldn't say no or felt like she couldn't say no. He thinks that's cool. It's like, dude, come on. Of course this guy voted for Trump. This guy, not our friend, dude. This guy would have Andrew Tate on his show, okay? This guy would be like, oh, I kind of agree with some of the shit Tate says. That's what this guy is.
they do whatever you want. Like, we don't want to be in your bedroom. They were cool with gay people. Like, it was cool to be a Democrat. Now, conservatives got 3 baby mamas. The president got 3 baby mamas. He's getting pussy left and right? He's cool. He's the one saying, say whatever the fuck you want. So now,
dude, he's not cool. Like, Trump is not cool, okay? He's got, like, multiple adulterous relationships. The women in his life are only there for the money. He didn't father his kids. You know what I'm saying? He's had mob ties, multiple bankruptcies, abused people that work for him, that built his casino, and then he fucked him out of paying him. Like, bro, really? Like, there's nothing about Trump that is cool unless you're a fucking degenerate white male, right? A degenerate white male who wants to be able to be a prick and have no fucking consequences. Then you look at Trump and he's like your patron fucking saint, right? Even him calling it, he gets pussy. Like, dude, what are we, right? He said he takes pussy and he doesn't even ask for consent. You fucking like 70s porn mustache fucking weirdo. Jesus, dude. I don't like this guy already, dude. And he's doing it. Look at what he's doing, right? He's on the Daily Caller, but he's doing it to try and ingratiate himself to these guys. He's like performing as the misogynist get pussy guy. Oh yeah, ingratiating himself to the guys across the table from him. Dude, that's clown. That's clown level material. Like, hey guys, like me. You know what I mean? Edgelord is fucking perfect way of saying it, dude.
Now conservatives have become Democrats. So I don't think I've changed.
Yeah, conservatives haven't become Democrats. And you know what's funny is you're right, Andrew, you haven't changed. But here's the thing. It's not that Democrats have changed, Andrew Schulz. It's that society has changed. Okay? Society has changed. All right? Me Too happened. Okay? Women are in power. Gay and trans people have rights. So the thing about it is you may still be a smarmy like guy who's trying to get a powerful job so you can get your dick sucked and then go tell your boys about it. But society has changed where we don't revere you anymore. Like a lot of society does not revere you anymore. And in fact, want to extract consequences on you for that behavior. And the people who feel that way are like a huge part of the Democratic Party. But that was always there. It was just kind of like hidden. But yeah, so we know that you're kind of a fucking degen.
It's like the dudes that get pussy and say whatever they want. So it's you want me to be a Democrat again? Get some pussy. Tell me to say whatever I want.
So what you're saying is you will only be a Democrat if they can treat women like they're pussy, and you can just whatever, be racist and transphobic and anti-women with your male buddies while you guys are all fucking stroking each other and, you know, like caressing each other's low self-esteem. Like you don't want to be in modern society, so you're going to go and become part of the party that wants to go back to the 1950s. But like, bro, yeah, dude, this guy is a fucking clown, bro. I already know that TYT is going to love Bernie Sanders' take here because Anna and Cenk want to have economic populism, but where, you know, the N-word and the celebrity camel toes can get rated and that misogyny and racism can exist and they can sort of partake in it with their friends, right? They're only going to say the N-word in a news context. Right? Like, come on, man.
The identity politics situation is so dumb because what it does is, I mean, Waz talks about this so perfectly. I can't articulate it as well as he does, but it just gives you this illusion of actually moving toward progress for marginalized groups of people in this country. When in reality, we're talking about elite people who get to enjoy positions of power, but they think exactly the same as the neoliberals, even the neoconservatives that have destroyed this country.
Yeah. So this Bernie interview is a Rorschach test and it's a litmus test. So let me explain how it's both. Rorschach, and then when you look at it, you can see it depending on your perspective very differently, right? We look at it and we go, oh, that's obviously true, right? Oh, and thank God he's finally saying it because we were worried that between 2020 and now he had not been saying it, right? But he's taking a bolder stance against identity politics and against the Democratic establishment. Now, as a person who's populist left, you know, the economic wing of Bernie movement, that to me is perfect. It's manna from heaven, right? So, but for the establishment, it's very clear. They love identity politics. I'm gonna explain in a second why they love it so much. So they hate it, right? I now see like the rad libs or whatever they call it.
Yeah, rad libs is perfect.
Right.
Yes.
So those folks who are like, no, Biden's the youngest person in America. He's an infant. Kamala Harris is the greatest candidate that's ever happened. She would have won 50 states if it wasn't for blah, 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 the rascally kids. And so for those, the crazed Democrats that like got trained and brainwashed on MSNBC that have now come online, right? So for those guys, they hate it. They look at the Rorschach test and they go, ugly old woman. I don't want it. He criticizing Democrats and our beloved identity politics. I hate that guy, right?
Dude, he is obsessed with this. Like, it's a very inaccurate take, right? I don't know. I don't really see this take that Cenk says here. Nobody ever thought Kamala Harris was the greatest candidate that ever happened. But Kamala Harris was definitely better than Donald Trump, and she would have made a great president. And that's that, Cenk. We know that she's a black woman, and we know that Cenk would never vote for a black woman for president. Let's be honest. Cenk and Anna don't like black women. They don't like Kamala Harris. Come on, man. We know that.
To me, what I'm curious about, and I'm genuinely curious, I don't know, I mean, you might have a better sense of it, but we're mainly going to see it in the reaction going forward, right? Is what do our friends on the far left think, right? Because so a lot of them are economic populists like us. There's a lot of overlap, right? They should not be pro-establishment. I mean, if you're far left, you shouldn't want anything to do with the establishment, right? So, but are they so wedded to identity politics that they're gonna join the rad libs and go, no, since Bernie's not doing identity politics, we're out? I don't know. I don't know.
Dude, you know what's so funny? Have you guys noticed something here? I want to point something out, guys, because look at the title here, right in their little description, how they said that Bernie Sanders torched the liberal elite and identity politics. But what is Cenk Uygur fucking talking about this whole fucking time? He's got a word for like the establishment. He's got a word for the rad libs. He's got a word for the people that are leftists, but maybe gonna join the rad libs, or maybe they're gonna join Bernie. Like, Cenk has little boxes of identity that he categorizes everybody in, and he makes judgments on them. Far left, radical left, rad libs. He's even got little adjectives or adverbs that he attaches to them. And there's a connotation. MSNBC brainwashed. I mean, that's identity politics. That yes, you got rejected by MSNBC. They gave the fucking job to Al Sharpton. And 20 years later, you are still using MSNBC as some type of descriptor, brainwasher, harbinger of doom, that anybody who watches MSNBC or is involved in that network has an identity that you are fucking projecting onto them. Like, this guy, his existence is like so based in identity politics. You see what I'm saying? Like, this guy is like so ensconced and attached to identity. It's like crazy. It is crazy. Far left, economic populists, rad libs, establishment, middle left, populist right, MAGA. I mean, this guy, what a clown, bro.
I mean, if you're far left, you shouldn't want anything to do with the establishment, right? So
pro-establishment. I'm a medium pro-establishment, far left, rad lib, pro-LGBTQ, trans rights, non-birthing person sort of Democrat. What are you? Dude, he's like, look at this. He's making like the Democratic category sound like a fucking Starbucks order. Dude, have you seen that? Look at him. Dude, he got caught lying too. This is what happens when he gets caught with his incognito browser open. He's like, no, really, I swear I'm not a misogynist. Oh, dude, look at that shit. Oh man, dude, busted. But you see how he's got the categories all broken up like he's ordering at Starbucks. Can I have a pro-establishment, far left, rad lib, populist, MAGA adjacent fucking soy latte, please? Oh yeah, you want the TYT? Let me get you that right up. Oh yeah, dude. 4 hours of double tug and free to say the N-word and fucking look at some camel toes and comment about it and, beg women to fuck you. And that's what you get for, oh shit.
But are they so wedded to identity politics that they're gonna join the rad libs and go, no, since Bernie's not doing identity politics, we're out. I don't know. I don't know.
Isn't that funny that he just said, are they so strung out on identity politics that they're going to join the rad libs? That's funny, dude. Like that sentence. Are they so into identity politics that the far left is going to join the rad libs? Or are they going to join like the populist pseudo left anti-Bernie, like, you know, non-fat joy boy squad? Dude, that's funny.
On the Democratic side, you have all of these little fractured groups of people, right? You have Black people, Latino people, LGBTQ community, and every single one of them has essentially been conditioned to hyper-focus on social policies that specifically apply to them and benefit them.
And it's not just benefit them as in their group, it's benefit them literally personally.
Yeah, but you guys are leaving something out there, Anna and Cenk, in your little millionaire poly-market populism that you do. Is the reason why each of those fractured groups are looking at how it benefits them is because each of them are fucking marginalized, okay? So they have to be guaranteed their own civil rights or they don't get to participate in the populism, okay? Right? Like your transgender Democrats can't enjoy the lovely populism of healthcare when they can get refused healthcare for being trans, or when they can't get healthcare because trans people can't have healthcare. I mean, you see, like, it's not as cut and dried. It's not like they're selfish and the LGBTQ are concerned about just their issues and the Black and Latino community are just, they're so wrapped up in identity politics that they're just concerned about their issues. It's like, no, they're marginalized. They need to be guaranteed participation in the populism or they don't reap the benefits, you know? And yeah, they don't understand this because why? Because they're fucking privileged as shit. They're wealthy, they're protected, they have power. They can go on all the talk shows because they're firmly ensconced in that power set. They're populist, but they're poly-market populist. When they were down on funds during an election year, they were able to cash in fucking money from the opposing side. The progressive populists that were taking money from Peter Thiel and JD Vance's Opus Dei bros. Like, come on, man. What are we talking about? They're fucking glossing over something. They're portraying those marginalized people like they're selfish for making sure that their rights are guaranteed so they can actually have a piece of the populist pie.
Yes.
Right? So this is not for the masses. This is for among the elites. There's a certain number of categories of really good jobs that are going to get filled.
By the way, you are an elite, Cenk, right? And Anna is an elite. I hope you guys realize you guys are the elites. And how do we know? We know because your channel is fucking failing and you are still like firmly ensconced. You are so elite that your fucking YouTube channel can be dead as shit and you both still have carte blanche to the inside studio of every like high level space around, except maybe MSNBC, some of the mainstream media. But you're so elite that you still get access and have access to money even when your channel is failing, right? The working class, the rest of the non-elite, they don't have that access, Cenk.
That's why you constantly hear about like, well, it's important to have, you know, fill in the blank representation.
He can't talk for 5 seconds without like creating some identity politics around everybody on the left.
Yes.
Because if you, it's a lot of, you know, like seeming action of like, we're fighting them on LGBTQ issues, right? But wait, are you? Because they passed bills all over the country and you really did nothing about it, right? But rhetorically, we are wagging our finger at them. Yes, but did you pass paid family leave to help moms get some time off? No, we didn't do that. But that's okay, because we're American heroes, because we're fighting for these vulnerable communities.
Right, now look, representation isn't a bad thing necessarily, but when—
as long as you actually represent.
Wait, but hold on, but when representation is literally used as a substitute to passing policies that uplift the very community that individual is representing, what the hell is the point?
Yeah, so look guys, it's actually super easy to understand when you take out Democrats.
Dude, they're literally like, they're trying to undercut representation. What are we watching? Like, how far have they fallen? Like, dude, what is going on? Right? And I know they're saying, oh, representation substitution for policies or whatever. This is like watching Fox News, but they bought their clothes at Ross Dress for Less, right? You know what I'm saying? That's literally what we're watching. We're watching Fox News with Ross Dress for Less progressivism attached to it. There's some of my identity politics. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.